जनित कोकित कारती प्रपतित को उद्धारती अन्य देश महान धन्य हिंदुस्तान अन्य देश महान विश्व में गूंजे हमारी आरती जन जन पुकारे आरती अन्य देश महान अन्य देश महान
धन्यवाद युगंधर जी। तत्पश्चात मैं भारतीय विचार मंच का परिचय एवं प्रस्तावना के लिए श्री सुनील कित्तारू जी को आमंत्रित करता हूँ। श्री सुनील कित्तारू जी भारतीय विचार मंच नागपुर महानगर के संयोजक के दायित्व में है। हर्षोल्लास की बात यह है कि सुनील जी इस समय गुवाहाटी के संघ प्रमुख कार्यालय सुदर्शनालय में रहते हुए हैं। मैं सुनील जी अभी एक साथी है, मैं आमंत्रित करना चाहूँगा सुनील जी। सुनील जी
भारतीय बने भारत वर्ष पर आई है। महान बनाना चाहते हैं, कुछ लोग महान नहीं बनाना चाहते हैं। भारत के लोगों को लड़ना उनका तरीका मुझे पता है। आज का जो देश के अंदर अपने ही लोगों को लड़ना ये बड़ा होती है। इस समय आपको गंभीर है। हम देखेंगे कि जो भी विषय अंतर्गत चाहते हैं लोगों का आह्वान हो, कन्वर्शन है, तमाम लोगों का आह्वान हो, एक और सरकारों की और शिवाजी के कारण चली आ रही है, हमारे हजारों गद्दारियों की भूमिका रही है।
दर्शन आप म्यूट कर लीजिए। दर्शन
तो इस प्रकार के जो गद्दारी का काम चल रहा है, तो यह शत्रु का जो काम करने का तरीका है, रणनीति है, उसको अगर हमें ठीक से मुकाबला करना है तो उस दृष्टि से हमारा जागरण होना जरूरी है। इसलिए माओवादियों की रणनीति हो या इस प्रकार से कश्मीर में आर्टिकल 370 हटाने की बात हो, ऐसे सारे विषयों पर भारतीय विचार मंच प्रबोधन करता है, कार्यशालाएं चलाता है, सेमिनार्स चलाता है, चर्चा सत्र रखता है। इसी प्रकार से हमारे देश के लोगों में देशभक्ति की भी भावना बढ़नी चाहिए। राष्ट्रीय एकात्मता दृढ़ हो, इस दृष्टि से स्वतंत्रता का अमृत महोत्सव, इस दृष्टि से भी अनेकानेक कार्यक्रम उपक्रम हम लोग कर रहे हैं। साथ ही भारत की जड़ें भारत की लोक संस्कृति में है, मतलब कि उसके लोक परंपरा में है। इस दृष्टि से एक बहुत बड़ा आयोजन अभी गुवाहाटी में हुआ, लोक मंथन। इसका उद्देश्य भी यही है कि भारत की जड़ें मजबूत होना चाहिए। एक तरफ आंतरिक सुरक्षा के दृष्टि से ऐसे छोटे मोटे अनेक कार्यक्रम भारतीय विचार मंच प्रत्यक्ष रीति से करता है, लेकिन पीपल सेंट्रिक ये जो शब्द हमने यहाँ आज उपयोग किया है, भारतीय विचार मंच काम करता है, क्योंकि जब लोगों को मुकाबला कर शत्रु को मालूम नहीं है, शत्रु तो भाई वार का काम करने वाली है, जो अदृश्य है, तो उसको कैसे पकड़ा जाए। तो इसलिए संवैधानिक मार्ग, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल वे, उसके बाद जो है लीगल अलर्टनेस, विजिलेंस, ऐसे सब लेवल पर विचार मंच के कार्यकर्ता काम करते हैं और अपनी राष्ट्रीय एकता के लिए योगदान शांत रीति से साइलेंटली दे रहे हैं। इसकी सोशल जस्टिस भी हो, कहीं पर भी कास्टवार हो तो वहाँ भी हमारे कार्य जाते हैं, और किसी को अन्याय नहीं हो, निम्न जाति के लोगों पर अन्याय न हो, केस ले लिया जाए, उनको न्याय मिले, इस दृष्टि से इस गाँव को विजिट करना, इस प्रकार से प्रत्यक्ष फील्ड का काम भी भारतीय विचार मंच के कार्यकर्ता करते हैं। तो आज का जो विषय है वो इस दृष्टि से आवश्यक है। आज हमें कि गांधीवादी संस्था है, अलग अलग प्रकार की संस्था है, जिस गांधी जी ने धर्मांतर विरोध किया, जिस गांधी ने गांधीवादी संस्थाओं में माओवादियों की घुसपैठ हो, एक बड़ा गंभीर समस्या अंतर्गत सुरक्षा का है और उससे सामना अंजाम है। तो ये प्रबुद्ध लोगों का काम बनता है कि वो लोगों को जागरूक करे, इसमें एक स्पेक्टेटर न रहकर वो अपनी भूमिका निभाए, और इसीलिए आज यह विचार मंच ने रखा है और भारतीय विचार मंच इस दृष्टि से कार्यरत है। ये एक आनंद की बात है और इसमें प्रत्यक्ष हम लोग सहभागी हो, कार्य और तेजी से बढ़ेगा। इतना कहकर मैं मेरी बात समाप्त।
धन्यवाद सुनील जी। अतः इस सत्र के विशेषज्ञ पैनलिस्ट के परिचय के लिए मैं श्रीमती सजल गुप्ता जी को अनुरोध करता हूँ। श्री सजल जी, श्रीमती सजल जी।
नमस्ते सभी आदरणीय अतिथिगण और पैनलिस्ट। मैं काजल गुप्ता, मॉडर्न स्कूल में टीचर हूँ। आज के हमारे एस्टीम्ड पैनलिस्ट का इंट्रोडक्शन मैं दे रही, एंड आई विल बी कंफर्टेबल इन इंग्लिश, सो आई एम गिविंग इट इन इंग्लिश. So today's our esteemed panelists are Colonel Akshay Balakrishnan Patwardhan. He worked as a commissioned officer in the army in the defense in 1969. Part of Special Frontier Force. He also was a part of the war, external aggression in 1971. Part of insurgency in Northeast Kashmir and Punjab. Was very actively involved in the Operation Blue Star in Golden Temple. He was the commander in the 19th Jat Regiment in Taiwan, Arunachal Pradesh. Now he is the part of SSB training and writing. He is an advent writer, pens for journals, newspaper, and also takes part in TV debates. Our next panelist is also from defense background. So I welcome Admiral Raman Puri ji. He is retired chief of the Integrated Secure Service Command (CISC). In 2006, after serving for 40 long years in the Indian Navy, he has many feathers to his cap. The list is very long, so I would read out a few. He is the commander in Andaman and Nicobar Island, commander in chief of the Eastern Naval Command, founder director of the College of Naval Warfare. He is also the director staff recruitment, the flag officer for Offshore Defense Advisory Group, flag officer for Maharashtra Naval Area, also the deputy chief of the Naval Staff. Currently, he is distinguished fellow in BIF. Next, our last esteemed panelist is Professor Ramma. He is the General Secretary of Tamil Nadu Region BJP. So I welcome all our panelists for today's program. Thank you, Darshanji.
धन्यवाद काजल जी। अब मैं इस सत्र के आगे के अनुरोध के लिए मैं श्री ML नारायणन जी को अनुरोध करता हूँ। आगे का सत्र एज ए मॉडरेटर श्री नारायणन जी।
Hello. There is some connectivity problem and Admiral साहब ज्वाइन करने के लिए ट्राई कर रहे हैं, कर्नल साहब भी ज्वाइन करने के लिए ट्राई कर रहे हैं. In the meanwhile, I would invite Professor Ramma Srinivasan ji to enlighten us about the internal security issues in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. With respect to Tamil Nadu and Kerala, Professor Ramma Srinivasan ji, please. Sir, Professor Ramma Srinivasan ji, please unmute. Professor Saab, please unmute. Please.
Yes, sir. Now unmute.
Yeah,
Yes,
please. What is the internal security issues that are currently in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, faced by Tamil Nadu's people and Kerala? And please enlighten us.
So, thank you for this opportunity. I think I am the first panelist. Am I right?
Yeah.
Discourse. Yes, sir. So it is very exhaustive, the situation in Tamil Nadu. First, I will brief, because Tamil Nadu for long decades, for several decades, there has been a political mindset has been set by the Dravidian parties in Tamil Nadu. Essentially, the Dravidian parties in Tamil Nadu, they are basically anti-India, anti-God, anti-Brahmin, anti-Sanskrit, anti-Hindi, and anti-Hindu. So this is the political character of this Dravidian parties. But now the forces which are dangerous to the internal security of Tamil Nadu, they are all being supported, blessed by the Dravidian party, particularly the DMK. Unfortunately, the communists also have joined their hands with them. So what happens in recent times, after our Modi ji's tenure as the Prime Minister, for the last 7-8 years. They have been joining their hands and they have whipped up all their activity. So there are radical Islamists in Tamil Nadu, Tamil separatist movements in Tamil Nadu, left-wing extremism, the residual part of the liberation tigers of Tamil, though the LTT is dead, but the residual ideological resources are still operating in Tamil Nadu. And the missionary, the fundamentalists, the Christian fundamentalist organizations. So these are all joining hands to see that this country, to destabilize this country. So the modus operandi, the networking, the source of funding, everything is a problem in this part of the land. So Tamil Nadu is, to some extent, it is in dangerous situation. It's not obvious, it's not very much visible, but the internal diagnosis of this internal security issue is to some extent very serious issue, sir. I want to bring it to our notice that in the last 10-20 years, more than 140 Hindus belonging to our Hindu organizations, they were simply murdered by these jihadi forces in Tamil Nadu. Almost every major city of Tamil Nadu, it has seen 1 or 2 murders. In Madurai, in Coimbatore, in Trichy, in Salem, in Chennai, the places wherever these jihadi forces are very active, it has seen the political murders in this place, communal murders in this place. So this is another important. When this massive movement in favor of the Jallikattu started in 2016 to restore the Jallikattu that you know that playing with the bull in Tamil Nadu, it's a Tamil culture. So what happened, the anti-Indian forces in Tamil Nadu, they used this Jallikattu agitation to whip up the Tamil chauvinism, and in the name of Tamil pride, they whipped up the anti-Indian sentiment in Tamil Nadu. Now to a large extent it has been diluted now, but their seeds of that partition, their anti-Indian approach, it is on the very high. I will list out a few incidents what is Tamil Nadu now. Please give me just 2 minutes. In am I now in Tamil Nadu, sir, there are more than 24 organizations is run by Muslims in Tamil Nadu now. 24 organizations, 28 organizations. I will list out a few. Manidaneya Makkal Katchi, Tamil Nadu Muslim Munnetra Kalagam, Tamil Nadu Tawhid Jamaat, Indian Tawhid Jamaat, Indian Union Muslim League, and Marumalatchi Muslim League, Welfare Party of India. In various names, they have Tamil Nadu Sunnat Jamaat, Tamil Nadu Islam India Iyakangal. Like that, 28 organizations belonging with Muslim identity, it has been functioning in Tamil Nadu. And in the name of Dravidian Socialist organization, 4 major organizations, Dravidar Kalagam, Dravidar Vidudalai Kalagam, and Dravida Iyakka Tamilar Peravai, and Thandai Periyar Dravida Kalagam. These are all the 4 major organizations belonging to this Dravidian stock. And there are so many individuals who are known as anti-Indians, obviously anti-Indians. They have been successfully functioning, unfortunately, in Tamil Nadu. One Mr. Tirumurugan Gandhi, he is in several world forums. He has been very vocal against India and Indian interest. And one Mr. Seaman, he belongs to Nagpur, he was the founder. And in the name of environmental welfare and in the name of protecting the Tamil interest, they have been very vocal against it. And there is one Christian missionary, Jagat Kashkar. He is also very popular among the separatist and anti-national movements. And like people, Nedumar and Sendil, they are all prominent individuals whose organization is nothing, but they are very vocal that they enjoy to some extent popular support among the anti-national forces in Tamil Nadu. And then there are some 8 Tamil separatist organizations, Tamil chauvinist organizations like May 17 movement, Ilam Tamilagam, Tamilar Desiya Munnani, Tamil Desiya Podudamai Katchi, like that. Some 8 Tamil separate organizations. And there are some organizations run by Christian NGOs, People's Watch and Evidence. These are all the prominent NGOs under the cover of the Christianity they have been running. There are prominent Marxist-Leninist movement, the left-wing extremist movement in Tamil Nadu, that is Makgal Adhigaram, it means People's Power, Revolutionary Students Youth Front, People's Art and Literary Association, Revolutionary Youth Front, New Democratic Laborers, Coordination Committee for Common Education, like that. They are all left extremist movements. And some of the cover organizations of Maoist, they are CPI Maoist Party, that is anti-imperialist movement, women uprising movement, Federation Against State Repression, Students Uprising Movement for Common Welfare, Caste Annihilation Liberation Front. They are all under the cover of the popular organization. They have been working for the Maoist organizations in Tamil Nadu. So it is a very big their game plan against the Indian interest, against this country, against Hinduism. Anything with the Hindu character, they will be very vocal in public forums. To a large extent, the process of de-Hinduization in Tamil Nadu, it has been going on. And they are ready for any types of violence in this country. This is another important dangerous situation in Tamil Nadu. Sir. Regarding Kerala, the situation in Kerala is it is very looming large. In Kerala, many Muslims supported Pakistan during pre-partition days. During Chinese war, it is unfortunate. There are some Muslim organizations in Kerala, they supported China. They are very visibly, the Kerala Muslims, they have been working with visible interest, with explicit agenda and their core ideas. They have been working, sir. Muslim League started to function from 1931 in Kerala. Now the Muslim population in Kerala is 28% of the total population. Though Hindus are 53% in Kerala, minorities, they decide the fate of the country. The 40% of the Kerala GDP, it is coming from the overseas Kerala, overseas Malayalis, which constitute 90% of the overseas Malayalis. It's constituted by the Muslims. This is another important thing. The 6 districts are coming under the Malabar region in Kerala. One district has 74% and 3 districts 40% controlled by the Malabar region Muslims. All the groups, they have their own media, print media, visual media, and they run their own economic empire in the name of halal economy in Kerala, sir. There is only one media, visual media, Janam, which is obviously supporting our Hindu cause. So this is the situation in the Kerala. In Kerala, there are 25,000 madrasas currently working in Kerala. It is more than Uttar Pradesh. These madrasas are functioning at the early morning and at the evening so that school timings are not disturbed. Muslim children right from the age of 3, they are sent to madrasas, and these are maintained with ultra-modern facilities and state support. More number of madrasas are growing every day. The recent US report states that many terrorists involved in terror activities around the globe are from Kerala-based Muslims. This is another very dangerous finding among by some of the US agencies. Love jihad, that obviously love jihad is very popular finance. It is happening in professional institutions and campuses in Kerala. Even many Christian girls are also affected by this love jihad. Love jihad is happening in a huge number. Christian churches are now started to feel the heat of this love jihad, and they have started protesting against this love jihad. The Hindutva politics in Kerala, it is facing very tough time to get the votes and to win. BJP could get only its second position in one of its dominant constituencies, very promising constituencies, because of the tactical voting by the minorities and communists. Islamic radicals are working in every field in this Kerala. Journalists like Madhyamam and Tejas and Chandrika are working for the Islamic fundamentalism. The main brain behind the 1998 Coimbatore bomb blast, serial bomb blast Coimbatore, in which was targeted, Shriman L.K. Advaniji was targeted in 1998 Coimbatore bomb blast. It was functioning from Kerala. They are funded by the Kerala separatist and terrorist organizations. There are many instances that some Muslim girls from Tamil Nadu also, Muslim boys, they are taken to ISIS training through Kerala to the other countries. There are several instances by NIA, National Institute of Investigation Agency. Training towards terrorist activities are held in Kerala. Huge money comes to various NGOs in the name of charity. Illegal funds are coming through smuggling of gold and etc. Through Hawala also, large huge funding has been happening in this place. The world's largest mosque is being built at Calicut. 79% of the dental colleges are owned by Muslims in Kerala. 55% of doctors graduating from medical colleges are from Muslim community every academic year. Pre-entrance coaching is done by Jamaat Islami sponsored terrorist entrance coaching. Education in various universities were headed by Malayalis who were sponsored by Jamaat Islami. And in Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi, 27% of seats coming under the OBC quota, other backward classes quota, is availed by Kerala Muslims. And this 27% is not available to Hindu Malayali students in the existing political ecosystem in that place. In the recent past, 5 RSS Karyakartas, 5 of our Swayamsevaks were brutally murdered by the SDPI and PFM. Madani, who is involved in Coimbatore bomb blast, unanimous resolution passed to release Mr. Madani in Kerala. Kerala is the citadel of the Khilafat movement in 1921, and till 1921, Kerala has been witnessing the continuous rise of the fundamentalism, the communal Islamic fundamentalism in Kerala. Though we are 53% of our population, the minority population controls the electioneering and election success in Kerala, sir. This is the alarming situation both in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. In both the states, the anti-national, anti-Indian sentiment has been lifted up by the separatist organizations. Anti-Hindu attitude has been scaled up by the terrorist movements. Individual patriots, nationalists, and Parivar organizational leaders, they have been individually targeted, and some of them they are getting murdered. And so many disaster events in the name of bomb blast, in the name of sabotage, it has been happening in these two states for the last 2-3 decades. After our government assumes office, we assume power, it has been drastically cut down. But all their underground activities have been, it is going on. And they spend large funding, huge funding for the religious conversions. Still, their targets are our people. So it is very dangerous situation. For all the statements which I gave, I could give you enough statistical data also. I keep all the statistical data, because in Tamil Nadu, one policeman, Wilson, was shot dead in Kolikaval on 8th January. Everything I have kept data, circular data, due to the paucity of time. I am quickly rushing to bring out the whole picture about both Tamil Nadu and Kerala. With the permission of the chair, let me conclude with this. I am ready for interactions. Thank you.
Sir, Srinivasan sir, you have really neatly highlighted the real problem in Tamil Nadu faced by people in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and really horrifying. And actions are being taken by central government now against the anti-national forces. Still more to be done. People are under terrifying. People are being terrified by such forces, and really Hindus are suffering everywhere because of anti-national forces. Now I would like Admiral Raman Puri Saab to highlight the issues involved in internal security threats and how it can be tackled by the government. And Colonel Saab is also ready with us, who will highlight what people can do to counter anti-national forces. I would like to invite Admiral Saab to speak upon what action government can take on such situations, and whether the actions taken by the government is enough or more to be done. Please highlight, sir. Admiral Saab, Raman Puri Saab.
Thank you very much. Frankly, I will tell you, my career is basically in the Navy, and we have been dealing with, we basically have been dealing with issues which are more foreign policy related than internal security related. But I took up the task of being the Chief of Integrated Defense Staff and started getting, and what I found was that most of our I'm talking most in North India, the internal North and Eastern India, most of these situations have occurred, let's say, started off with I could say, after the 1857 first freedom struggle, where the Britishers found that if the Hindus and Muslims were to combine, they would find it very difficult to rule. And that resulted in their coming up with various measures to create fault lines in India. I think we need to understand how these fault lines have been created. These fault lines have been created between Hindus and Muslims at that time. And now, of course, things have grown and started growing out of hand. The same thing has happened as far as the Dravidians are concerned. The fault line between North and South was also created by them, by connecting Mohenjo-daro and Harappa to Central Asia, saying that Saraswati is a mythological river of India, and that hordes of Aryans came down from Central Asia and drove the Dravidians to the south. I mean, that's where the whole thing started off, and then that also has grown. Then Hindu-Sikh divide was created by creating this, what we call the SGPC Act. Once you created otherwise prior to this act coming in 1925, it was the Hindu Mahants used to be running the Gurdwaras. And then the Sikhs were told, you are a martial race, you've got your own gurus, why shouldn't you be running your own Gurdwaras and all that? And the SGPC Act was enacted. And that has ultimately related to situation today where we have a Khalistani movement also. So, my point is, hello.
विजय जी और शेखर जी, आपकी माइक म्यूट नहीं है। विजय जी, विजय सर और शेखर सर, प्लीज माइक म्यूट पे कर लीजिए, आवाज एको हो रहा है।
Right, oh, thank you. So genesis of our problem starts, and especially with Macaulay coming, he soon found that the Indian education system has to be changed if we are to, and that's where basically they attacked Sanskrit. Gurukuls were closed down, something like 250,000 Gurukuls. English language was instituted in the whole country, in the country, among the elite basically. They couldn't care less about the rest of the population. And that continues till today. So we killed our domestic language, and Sanskrit, in my assessment, India's unity lies in its culture. It is not political. It is a cultural unity, and even in Tamil Nadu, there are enough evidence to show that there was cultural unity even with the South. If you see the festivals, the way they come, everything that they come. So the attack has been on Indian culture since Macaulay's time. And his basic aim was he created this ICS, which was civil servants who would ensure that the British Raj became predominant in the country. You would have seen that the ICS officer of yesteryears was de facto an English Brown Sahib ruling this country. And I don't know how much of it changed with the initial years of the IAS even, or even today, I'm not very sure. So my point is that we have a lot of historical baggage that is combining today to create our internal security situation. Added to that, there have been, should I say, a lot of strategic blunders created by especially our previous governments. In 1947, there would be no Kashmir situation today to deal with, which has resulted in a lot of insurgency in the Kashmir Valley, and it goes down to elsewhere in the India. And with the ISI support, these organizations like PFI have emerged in this country. And now I am losing my thought. So there was no need to go to the United Nations. Clearly the Indian Army was had the whole area under control. It was another question of a few days, and we would have had the whole of Azad Kashmir with us. But we stopped the war. For what reason, I don't know. Then we have created the situation in the northeast strategically because we gave up our claim on Tibet. We gave up our claim in the Security Council. Today we are running after it. There was no need for it. In 65, we returned Hajipir after conquering it, and now I have heard people saying that if you think that was your territory, why did you have to return Hajipir? Third, if you see in 1971, we returned 93,000 POWs, and our own POWs are still, only a handful of them, I think 15 or 20, are still languishing in Pakistani jails. We returned 90,000 people without getting anything in return. The Kashmir problem should have been sorted out there. So we had a lot of opportunities to do things. And I would say, therefore, the leadership that we have had till Modi ji has come into power has contributed a lot to the situation that we are seeing today. Even in Tamil Nadu, if you go back to the IPKF crisis and all that, a lot has been contributed by the leadership that existed in that country. And to be very frank, a lot of appeasement has taken place, and that has resulted in what we see, what our friends have been telling us about Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Of course, it has got a history of its own. But these things wouldn't have happened if we didn't create this minority, whether it is the temple laws that we have created, whether it is that places of worship act that has been created. It's all meaningless acts that were created, and while I must say in the last 7 years a lot has been done to try and reverse, I think it will require a lot of consistent effort to be able to do what we want to do. So coming to insurgencies, especially Kashmir insurgency, all of you know, and it's the master stroke that we have done away with 370 and Article 35, and that has resulted in a drastic improvement in our situation in Kashmir. I mean, there's only so much time. In 5 years, you can do only so much. You can't do too much. You can't take on too many fronts at the same time. And today there are the tourism traffic in Kashmir was something like 1.5 crores. So let's hope the geopolitical situation I think in the north, which is Pakistan, should come around in our favor in a few years, with Pakistan going down the drain. On the east, we have worried with. On the east, we have separatist organizations in Bangladesh. In Myanmar, there are areas where the insurgents from Nagaland and other places, Ulfa, etc., go and take refuge. So insurgencies, when there is a neighbor which is, providing all the shelter, it becomes difficult for the security forces to either they have to go across the border and do things, and that becomes difficult. So we are in that situation in the northeast, where because of the situation in Myanmar, where the government itself is not in control of the many areas where these people hide, they take shelter. Similarly, Bangladesh, and then China, of course, is there to help everybody out. And we see they're trying to make their footprints into. So our internal situation in the north and the east has both its internal dimensions and it is to a lot linked with the foreign dimension. Then we have governments in West Bengal which have practically colluded with the Bangladeshi extremists to create the situation that we have in the border districts of West Bengal. The best of the, I mean, at present the government has done is taken said 50 kilometers from the border will be, there will be covered with the border security force. Wing extremism, which comes out of our grand left-wing parties, which started off in West Bengal, but it has spread into a number of districts, which have been drastically reduced in the last few years to, I think, something like 35 or 36 districts from almost double that number. Now, over there, basically, it's the communist ideology to remain in power is not that of even Marx, it is that of, I think it is that of Stalin and Mao, where you keep the people poor, and that's the best way to grow, and that is what the communists have been doing in those areas. And development with proper security protection seems to be the way ahead as far as the left-wing extremism is concerned, and that I think is being done to some great extent. So our situation, as I see, has been started off by the British, and the continuation of the British of the laws which were made by the British prior to 1947, basically to keep the Indian population in check, which have continued till date, and it's only now that we have started removing all those laws. And my personal belief is any law that existed before 1947 should be changed. It should be brought in line to a manner that it enables the Indian state to guard its security and other interests also, apart from giving whatever other justices that law is supposed to provide. But it should not be in a manner that that we find it difficult to impose law and order even when national security is impacted, or it takes a lot of doing to be able to do that. So those are the broad contours, I feel, that laws. So what do we need to do about it? I think first of all, change all those laws. There needs to be a proper propaganda. I think this new education policy, where we are attempting to give focus to the local languages, at least up to articulation standard, and see that the children grow up in their mother tongue, and it's only that they will understand their culture, and the emphasis that needs to be laid, I think, to some extent in UP it is being done in some other states, but I think we need to pay more attention to safeguarding our culture from all these forces that are around us, and for that we probably need a greater, should I say, strategic communication with our own masses to put across our point of view, and I think while it is not possible for the government, maybe not possible for the government, but I think at every other level where we have got an organization, we need to go and reach out to the masses and talk about our culture, this thing, so we have to see what methods we can employ to regain our cultural unity. I think even in the south, I mean, the number of temples in south are much more than they are there in practically any other part of the country. And the fact that the Indians have been able to it because this whole north-south and Hindi, and possibly if we did not try to force Hindi at a particular point in time, because I've grown up in Bangalore, those riots which took place I think in the 50s, anti-Hindi riots. So basically triggered by people making unnecessary statements. Otherwise, Hindi prachar even in Chennai and the other was going on very well, which suddenly stopped. So and there were people who were. My mother was a headmistress, and I know the people in that part of the world. So we need to deal. We used to have a strategy for each of these country states, which will have to be separate. Tamil Nadu strategy of getting back to our cultural roots. Of course, some law and order machinery will have to work against all the insurgents and other people that have been mentioned. Similarly, in Kerala, we will need to do that. And in the north, I think by and large we should be able to stabilize the situation. And the method seems to be the yogi way to do it. We have to be very wherever there is a breakage of law and order, there need to be no appeasement to anybody anywhere in the country. So I think these are the action taken against PFI is one example. I think we will need to do similar actions against many other organizations in this country and strengthen that part of our intelligence and intelligence enforcement areas to be able to do this. And I think we need to ensure that the current leadership remains in power for the next 15, 20 years at least. These things are to be sorted. It cannot be done without a leadership very responsive to national security, very responsible to Indian culture. And I say Indian culture, if you take Sanskrit, I mean, Kaka Gaga is all over except Tamil Nadu, where Tamil is agreed, it's an older language. But the rest of the country should be united even by a language. Even everybody celebrates Onam even in Kerala. And Kerala's basic is what? Normally. So I think we need to talk about it over there. That basically the Malayali language roots are all in Sanskrit. So where is this cultural disconnect that is coming? So I think we need to do all this in a very coordinated manner and draw up an action plan as to how we are going to go state-wise, maybe district-wise, and take action. And finally, I would say, I was talking to some of our people who are interested, who are very, should I say, vocal about Hindutva and things of that nature. They said, sir, बात ये है कि when the Muslim jihadis are told to take some drastic action and even lose their lives, there is a full support organization to see that their families are not on the road, that the children continue to get educated. Among Hindus, we have no such organization. So we need to create a support organization, and I think we will, even strong arm tactics probably will flow down will be required. And in that, we will need to support our people who, I mean, like the RSS cadre who are being dealt with in Kerala. There must be a proper support organization to see that whoever is being targeted, his family, their children do not suffer. Only then people will come out and go, and Hindus will start taking, should I say, retaliatory action where it is required. And I think that will also be required. So we have got to work on multiple things, and with this I will end. I would be happy to answer some questions. So frankly, this is an area I got involved more after my retirement than it was while I was in service. I had many other things like to see our South China Sea strategy and that sort of thing. Thank you very much.
धन्यवाद रामन पुरी साहब, बहुत बढ़िया आपने बताया कि गवर्नमेंट को क्या क्या मेजर्स लेना चाहिए। अब मैं कर्नल अभय पटवर्धन जी से रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा कि वो ये मामला जो है इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी का कितना जटिल हो गया है, उस पर हम क्या कर सकते हैं और जनता क्या कैसे रिस्पॉन्स करे, और इस पर थोड़ा सा प्रकाश डालें कर्नल अभय पटवर्धन जी साहब। अनम्यूट करिए, अनम्यूट करिए सर, साहब अनम्यूट करिए, अनम्यूट प्लीज अनम्यूट, कर्नल साहब अनम्यूट करिए, अनम्यूट, म्यूट पर ऑन करिए तो अनम्यूट हो जाएगा। कर्नल साहब योर वॉइस इज नॉट कमिंग अप, अनम्यूट ये जो है अनम्यूट करिए कर्नल साहब, नहीं आवाज नहीं आ रहा, आवाज नहीं आ रहा साहब।
CTRL D से भी हो जाएगा, CTRL D।
नहीं अनम्यूट करिए साहब, आवाज नहीं आ रहा। पटवर्धन जी अनम्यूट।
हेलो
हाँ अभी अभी
हेलो
अभी हाँ यस यस ये प्लीज,
हेलो,
ठीक है जी,
आ रहा
ठीक
है,
है,
आवाज आ रहा है,
हाँ ठीक,
बोला बोला।
ठीक है,
हेलो
हाँ बात करिए जी, बात करिए। हाँ यस सर,
हेलो, हाँ सर, सुनाई पड़ रहा है सर?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ यस
हेलो,
सर, यस सर,
सुनाई पड़ रहा है साहब?
Yes, you are audible to all, Colonel sir.
सुनाई पड़ रहा है?
Yes, you are
हाँ हाँ
audible
सब
to
कुछ
all,
सुनाई दे
Colonel
रहा है।
sir.
यस सर,
हाँ
यस सर।
Audible to all.
हाँ, गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। It's a pleasure and my honor to speak to such a beautiful gathering and know all people over here. I specifically thank previous speakers who have very readily brought out most of the points what I wanted to say. We must understand, gentlemen, two things. One is that as far as internal security is concerned, it is always related to external security. We cannot differentiate between internal and external security. We are surrounded by 7 countries who are generally against us. Pakistan and China are totally against us. Rest, that is Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and others, which are the littoral state for India. They look to us as big brothers. The propaganda which China carries out, that big brother is trying to strangulate or suffocate the younger brothers, has reached their limit over there, or their years over there, and they are turning against us. Even a country like Maldives, whom we had rescued way back in 85 from an internal coup, has also turning against us number of times. What ails today in internal security in India is lack of nationalism, both in public, a common man, as well as the ruling party, as well as the politicians, and as well as the administration. We don't have a
security strategy. We don't have any national external security strategy. Whichever party comes to power, they take their own recourse of action. Otherwise, the internal insurgency is the first element which has contacted India way back in 1948 when Fizo raised the banner of revolt against Indian Union to separate Nagaland from us. We replied him. We had our actions over there. Army had taken stern action. The revolt of Nagas was subsided. But the ruling party or the administration has not taken any of lessons from why Nagaland or Fizo has gone against us. We just wanted to pacify those people for minor gains or short-time gains of securing power over there, getting our MPs elected from there, and coming to power or retaining power in center. That is the main thing. Otherwise, if we would have taken the lesson from history of why Fizo has raised the revolt banner, the insurgency in Mizoram, insurgency in Manipur, insurgency in Tripura wouldn't have taken place. Second element, what is coming to us when is the politicians who are there, they don't keep the promise of what they give for fulfilling the desire of the people. Glaring example is of Khalistani movement. When partition took place, that time then Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he had promised that Punjab will be given due recognition and a due autonomy under Indian Constitution, which they did not fulfill their promise. That's why people of Punjab over a period of time were ignited. That's the religious sentiments over there. Otherwise, if you see the history, what are Sikhs who have revolted against Indian Union? That time, way back in 82, 83, 84, it culminated into assassination of then Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Is that the communal hatred was spread by the people who were interested in minor gains, short-time gains, to ascend power in Punjab. Then ruling party in center also gave air. उन्होंने भी आग भड़काई वहाँ पर. जो legitimate government थी, they dismissed their government, put a puppet government over there in Punjab that gave rise to Akali Dal coming into power. Then government, they instigated Bhindranwala to rise against Akalis, and then the Khalistani movement took root and then it really, जिसको बोलते हैं पनपना हिंदी में, वहाँ पर पनप गई. तो दूसरी बात थी. तीसरी बात कश्मीर की थी. कश्मीर के महाराजा ने when he accepted to come to India and sign the instrument of accession, there was nothing which could have divided Kashmir or Kashmirian from Indian sentiment or Indian support. We must understand that whatever promises were given to the Kashmiri people were all nullified and negated to satisfy the demand of one and only Sheikh Abdullah in Kashmir, who wanted to retain the power of his family and grip of his family over Kashmir. And that's why Article 370 was introduced in the Constitution in spite of objections by the writers of the Constitution, by the government. And subsequently, Article 35A was also introduced over there. which alienated the Indian public from Kashmiri public. कश्मीरियत अलग हो गई, हिंदुस्तान अलग हो गया। उस समय में 71-72 में जब हम कश्मीर में जाते थे, उसमें लोग बोलते थे देखो हिंदुस्तान से लोग आए हैं। नोबडी यूज्ड टू से कि हम भारत का हिस्सा है। वो उसी समय हिंदुस्तान पाकिस्तान के ही चक्कर में पड़े हुए थे जो अभी तक पड़े हुए हैं। अभी when we have nullified Article 370 to some extent and Article 35A to fully, now the things have started improving, like General Raman has brought out. But we must understand that the tempo what is going on now has to be retained. Internal security cannot be built by the broad hand. Anybody who takes up weapons against the state is a traitor and should be treated as traitor. You cannot treat these people as misguided youth, misguided courts, misguided people and give them the concessions what we are giving blindly to anybody who raises revolt, flag of revolt against the union. Be it Nagaland, be it Mizoram, be it Manipur, be it Kashmir, be it Punjab, and now also in Kerala. Our policies right from beginning were very short-sighted. When we trained LTT way back in 80s, that was the time to pacify the southern crowd, that is specifically the people of Tamil Nadu. We did not realize that what we are training will one day come back to us. जैसा भस्मासुर था, हमने भस्मासुर क्रिएट किया प्रभाकरण के रूप में, LTT क्रिएट की, लेकिन उसने हमको जलाया। So these short-sighted steps taken by the politicians have resulted in internal security. The second point is the Naxalism, which is now prevalent in central India. At one time, we had a Naxal corridor, red corridor, reaching from Nepal right up to Kerala. There were about 92 districts which were affected by Naxalism. What started as a small incident of dissent against the owners of a chai bagan in Naxalbari, because of the apathy of the government, it raised its ugly head in West Bengal. Then government overlooked that and it spread to neighboring Chhattisgarh or MP, spread to Telangana, spread to Odisha, Karnataka. What was the Virappan? It was also something like nationalism incarnated in Karnataka and likewise. We must understand, we should not take anything which is said personally against our state, against our clan, against our feelings. We are Indians, we should remain as Indians. That is lacking enough. Problem with us since old days that we have been divided. And now, when it is time to unite, we unite even when somebody attacks us. Otherwise, we see narrow interest of remaining in power, propagating family, giving them all the facilities. The first is family, then is your clan, then is your state, to your nation. It comes in that category or in that rising nation. Whereas it will be part of the academy, either that the nation comes first, I come last. Politics or in national regime of thinking, individual comes first, nation comes last. And that is the malady which is gripping India since its independence. What started as a small Muslim revolt in Kashmir are allowed to spread throughout India. What Pakistan did to Kashmir, what Pakistan did to rest of India was, in people's words, lead India through 1,000 cuts. And they literally had led India through not only 1,000 but lakhs of cuts. In about 7 lakh villages and cities in India, we got triple the number of sleeper cells of people who are getting support from across the border from Pakistan and the Western countries, that is the Middle East countries. Now that malady has spread even to the Western countries. We are getting, those people are getting monetary help from Western countries also. If we see the history of Punjab, what money came to them from Western contributors from 1980 to 1985-86 was something like 3 to 4 times the Indian defense budget every year. So that was the melody which people have, they did not realize that what they are seeing. So how do you contain them? Containing is only one thing. We have to spread or inculcate feeling of nationalism in our people. How it will come? It will come by the example of the people. When I was young, way back in 64-65, I was a college student. That time I had role models in front of me. I had Lal Bahadur Shastri, I had Mangal Kariyappa, I had people over there, I had people who had laid down their lives against Chinese in very inhospitable terrain. Those role models are no more now in India. The youth today cannot look up and emulate those people. They are getting all wrong examples, barring very few which you can count on hand. Inculcation of nationalism, inculcation of security of the country, inculcation that country is above everything is first thing. Chanakya has said earlier कि एक कुटुंब के लिए एक आदमी को बलि जाना चाहिए, एक मोहल्ले के लिए एक कुटुंब को बलि जाना चाहिए, एक गांव के लिए एक मोहल्ले को बलि जाना चाहिए, एक राज्य के लिए एक गांव को बलि जाना चाहिए और देश के लिए एक राज्य को बलि जाना चाहिए. And we should not mind that. The things are totally under reverse now, in reverse now. लोग बोलते हैं कि नेशन गया भाड़ में, देश के साथ हमने कुछ नहीं करना. Over here, the elected ministers say that the police and army who are dealing with internal and external security are meant to die. People are raising their own private army. Government is not taking any action against them. Day is not far off when we will have the repeat of what America is having now. So the arms law in India are very stringent, but let me assure you, gentlemen, the illegal arms in India are much more than what we have in Western countries. what we have in America. You go to North, you go to Bihar, you go to UP, you go to Rajasthan, you go to Odisha, you go to Chhattisgarh, and you see the number of private armies in Jharkhand, West Bengal, and there the zamindars who are nurturing these armies. Is a thing of worry for a person like me. Government has to have a definite plan to deal with these things. What we are facing now in Kerala is the outcome of ISIS, which has grown its root in India to various organizations. You ban one organization, it rears its head under various other heads. You have banned PFI, it will raise its head in several other organizations which you won't be able to contain. There are sympathizers. The political leaders are misleading their followers in a very wrong way. Like I said, they don't see national interest, they don't have national vision, they don't have national feeling. They have feeling for their own caste, they have feeling for their own people, and they have feeling for their own family, nothing else. This has to change. It's not only police, it's not only army, it will be guarding the country. Army or Army, Navy, Air Force, that we call as army from external threat and police from internal threat. Why should we have these type of things? Why can't we have one entity looking after both the things? Why should we separate state security from national security? Why these dichotomies? Why these things which affect security inside as well as outside? Why people or government is promising in their election manifesto that APSA, Armed Forces Special Power Act, will be taken out from various states which are affected by insurgency? Why are we afraid of saying that yes, you people are revolting, you people are taking arms against the state, but till the time you people lay it down, we will not withdraw these laws? Why people are shielding the persons who are there? In my own state, Maharashtra, people who have helped the attackers of 2008 in Bombay have been made ministers. Why so? Why cannot state or why cannot the Rajyapal object to these type of things? Once we have branded a person as anti-Indian or hate to Indian constitution, we must follow it. Gentlemen, there is no shortcut to the security. You may take any amount of reason, you may take any amount of steps, but till the time you have stern hand to deal with security matters, nothing will improve in India. You have to be firm. You have to deal the man who takes arms against the state as a traitor, as an enemy of the state. You should not have misconstrued feeling of Manavadikar. You should not have misconstrued feeling of human rights. You should not have misconstrued feeling of not dealing sternly with the people who are anywhere. Whether they be Hindus who are lynching Muslims, whether they be Muslims who are beheading Hindus, whether they may be Christians, they may be anybody. But wherever a crime has been committed by anybody, by religious organizations, by political parties, by anybody, should be dealt very strongly. government time and again said that anybody who jails, who instigate violence on the streets, political rallies, political parties, will have to pay. Let me tell you, not a single party has paid till now. And to my knowledge, except for one or two incidences, nobody has been fined for burning the public property or the government property. It's very easy to instigate people, to bring them on road, to revolt against the establishment, so to say. But we do not feel that India is matured enough now, as on date. Most of the people, or I'll say blindly or boldly, that more than 60% of the people are still having the medieval mindset. And that medieval mindset has to be dealt with strong hand. Unless we do that, we cannot deal with anything. The organizers here have listed a couple of threats and what they are doing. One of them is corruption, then the liberals, then lack of religious activities, religious conversions, fusion, all these things. Gentlemen, these are the high words. Only thing which matters is a person takes arms against the state. He has to be dealt in that manner. Whether it is for external security, it is for internal security. You cannot differentiate between two. You cannot be very tolerant with these people. The more we become tolerant, the more external security will be jeopardized. The more external security jeopardized, internal security will also suffer. Take the example of Balakot airstrike. The moment we did Balakot airstrike, the moment we fought with them in air, when Abhinandan was bailed out and we shot a couple of people over there, the external aggression, the external killing of people subsided to 90% of the original society. The moment 2 years are gone, we are not punishing Pakistan for activities across the border, from across the border. The things have started raising its ugly head now. We cannot praise ourselves that the present government is taking enough action or enough steps to do away with internal security threat. No, they are not. They are also having the same mindset. वो भी सभी जितने भी पॉलिटिशियंस होते हैं एक थैले के चट्टे बट्टे होते हैं, इतना हमने ध्यान में रखना चाहिए. इन चट्टों बट्टों को कंट्रोल में लाना ये इस गैदरिंग जैसे वेल नोन वेल थॉट ऑफ इंटेलेक्चुअल लोगों की काम है, वो हमने करना चाहिए. दैट्स माय फीलिंग. Sorry if I have overstepped my authority of speaking. Sorry if I have hurt somebody's sentiment in giving it in a plain language. But the fact is that, and I as a person who has fought insurgency in Mizoram, who has fought insurgency in Nagaland, who has fought insurgency in Tripura, who has fought insurgency in Golden Temple, and who have fought in Sri Lanka, I realize it is very painful to lose your comrades or people whom you love in your unit when they die of these things. The government in power gives couple of lakhs to couple of people in one action and do not pay anything to another people. But let me tell you, when you pay people who are affected in Pulwama, who were martyred without even raising a finger against the terrorists, lakhs of rupees. At the same time, a soldier fighting on the border or killing other people in Kashmir asks me, my son, or the army people as to why this discrimination is done by the government against one set of people and against in one action and against other set of people in other action. Very easy to raise slogans and it is very easy to make grandeur promises that we are paying 50 lakh rupees, we are paying 1 crore rupees to a mafia. But what happens to the other people? What happens to the policemen who lay down their life while controlling insurgency? What happens to the policeman who lays down his life while maintaining law and order situation? What happens to a person who is killed by the criminal violence in various countries? Let us think over it. It is us who are going to influence the government, and that's what we should do. Thank you very much. I will be glad to answer any questions which come at the end of this discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Colonel sir. You had given thrust to rule of law. That is very good. And rule of law must be upheld. There is no doubt about it, irrespective of caste, creed, or religion. Now, I would like to invite questions, if any, by any of the audiences. They can ask questions on this issue.
I have just one comment.
Yes.
I agree with what Colonel Abhay had said,
Sir,
but I do believe that I think while the government should definitely look after the soldiers and the police who are deployed in uniform, I think as far as the general population which gets, for example, these किसी का सिर काट दिया and all that, I think as a Hindu society we must have resources to be able to go out and support those people. And even as a Hindu society, we should make sure that the soldiers who give up their lives also, to expect army headquarters to be able to look after so many, and the district administrations unfortunately are being to look after ex-servicemen welfare are unfortunately being looked after by the bureaucrats, and the resources are provided only by the state governments, which they do very liberally to somebody who they feel is politically relevant to them, but forget about all this. I think as a Hindu society also we must build up a resource bank to be able to deal with our own people. After all these Jamaats, there is no government supporting them. The ISIS, no government is supporting them, but they, as a society, they support themselves. And they got an ideology. If we want our ideology to go, as a Hindu society also we have got some responsibility to ourselves. We can't leave everything to the government to do. The government will have its own limitations. They have to deal with external pressures. They'll have to deal. It's nice to say don't deal with human rights, but then there is a lot of external pressures coming on you, including, things can happen, sanctions can come, many things can happen. So therefore, it is important for us as a society also to start looking after ourselves.
yes, sir. Yes.
And gear up our background resources. We will find enough people to take up our causes, just like whoever is doing it. But and I believe we must propagate that the only religion that can be secular is Hinduism. There is no other religion that was born to be secular. Not Islam and not Christianity. They were not born to be secular. When you believe just in one book, when you say anything else, one says that if you don't believe me, I am a sinner, you are a sinner. The other says that if you don't believe me, I must do jihad against you. It's only us who are taught by the Gita to respect there are many paths to salvation.
and choose any path you like. So by definition, the only religion that what I say, dharam that can be secular is Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. These are the dharms that can be secular. Other dharms can't be secular. They are not secular. And so this word secular needs to be. I don't find any reason why Congress, these left parties should be called secular parties. What secularism do they preach? We are secular. And why should we should say if there's anybody secular, we are secular. And that should be loudly said by us in every forum. As far as personally we are concerned, we have formed an organization called Youth for Nation. Our immediate aim is clearly to go down to first year students in universities, colleges, and maybe at the 12th standard who will be in the voters maybe by 2024. Our aim is to build in this idea of national security, the importance of leadership. A clear idea is that we must get, not the whole government, not everybody in the government is doing what Ganesh said, but at least the leadership is trying to move to that direction. And you don't bring about a cultural change in the nation by saying something, you have to start doing something. And I think the current government, at the country leadership level, is definitely moving in the right direction, whether it is with left-wing extremism or it is with Kashmir. Northeast has been given its due importance, and so a lot of development has taken place there, and there is a change. People who would not see our BJP today are voting for it. So my point is that we need this government for the next 15 to 20 years. So let us think of what we want to do to make sure that they are in power. That Mr. Kejriwal and all don't come and spoil that party. We also need to see that we form a social organization which will provide support to our people who suffer in these riots or this whole exercise who are killed by these jihadis for whatever reason, whether it is RSS workers or ordinary Hindus. So I believe there's lots to be done, and I think the planning steps should be state-wise, every-wise. What do we want to do? We have listed out all the threats. How do we want to deal with these threats? And I do not know if the current chapter of this organization, organizers of the seminar, have that chapter in mind, or they're just going to list out, what are the threats and what. By and large, just knowing what it is good, but what to do about it is what we need to do. Thank you.
Anybody? Questions? Any questions? Now I would request.
My question is, sir, how to explain this to students? Like we are teaching secularism in class 8, understanding secularism, and in 10th standard also there is this chapter called as gender, religion and caste. And here in the textbook NCERT, the secularism is very differently interpreted, and what children see on social media, their concept of secularism is totally vague. How do we tell children about the proper secularism? Like Ramanji has said it so, but if we make it in this statement in class, then everybody will come running. How do we make this statement?
I think take the Gita with you, a small, and there is the opening lines there say that we believe in this, and there's no harm telling them. Basically, you have to say what is the Abrahamic and Brahminic concepts, and I think the NCERT books definitely need a change. As I said, whether these prescriptions, whatever prescriptions were made in our educational curriculum are carry forward of what Macaulay wrote. We need to change it top side. It was tried, Vajpayee's time, Mr. Rajput tried to do it. Unfortunately, this Italian lady came and it again went back to where it was. Now again there is an attempt to change these books. I hope all these chapters will change. We need to say very clearly that this is the secularism means respect for all religions, and that currently if you see in our system, the only religion which does that is Hinduism. And if you can't say it in class, please get children under a tree and say it.
Is it necessary to teach secularism to a 8th standard student?
You don't need to teach secularism. You need to talk to them about Indian culture. Don't talk about secularism.
Yes,
You
sir,
can talk
yes.
about Indian culture. Indian culture requires this thing. It is not there in Arab. In the Arab culture, it is not there in the Western culture. It is there only in the Indian culture. There is no harm saying it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
अब मैं आदरणीय अनिल चोपड़ा जी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि वो कंक्लूजन और वोट ऑफ थैंक्स दें। प्लीज अनिल चोपड़ा जी। अनिल जी अनम्यूट करिए। अनिल जी अनम्यूट करिए। अनम्यूट प्लीज। यस।
अनिल सर स्पीकर वाले बटन पे क्लिक करिए।
अनिल जी आप दो जगह से लिंक्ड है इसलिए आवाज आ रही है। एक जगह क्लोज करिए, दूसरी जगह से ऑन करिए।
सर जो स्पीकर का आइकॉन है ना उस पे क्लिक करिए, आप ऑटोमेटिकली अनम्यूट हो जाएंगे।
अनिल जी अनम्यूट करिए प्लीज।
क्लियर?
हाँ।
Sorry it took time.
ओके ओके।
भारतीय विचार मंच के इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट डिस्कशन जो आज हुआ, that was related to internal and external security threats. The program started with Professor Ramma Srinivasan ji, who was restricted to speak about the situation in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, there is an anti-Hindi Dravidian party, DMK, which has combined with the communists, and a separatism ideology has been generated. There is a strong presence of Maoists out there in the region also. 27 Muslim organizations have been identified who are playing a major role in the anti-Hindu, anti-Hindi propaganda. Kerala, the situation is very bad. The pre-partition support to Pakistan and China was well seen. Today there is a demographic change with 38% Muslims taking over the area population. The GDP is contributed by the NRIs from the Malabar region, and funding is also coming from the same region. It was starting to find that madrasas are more in Kerala rather than in UP, and a very dangerous aspect was established that the ISIS presence is also there, not only in men militants but even in women. Surprisingly, they have also taken over the education portion of the society. Surprisingly, more than 70 Muslim dental colleges are owned by Muslims. That was Dr. Raman speaking on very specific Kerala and Tamil Nadu situation. We took over, the next panel took over by Admiral Raman Puri ji. He was very modest to say that he is mostly a Navy man. We fully understand that a retired Chief of Intricate Services can either win a war or make a country lose a war. That was a very important position that you left India with. Thank you, sir. He traced out most of the problems starting from the Britishers who had the divide and rule policy. There was also the Khalistani blunder, which was highlighted by sir. The divide and rule policy by Macaulay, which destroyed the Indian education system, has to be brought back according to him. The blunders that were conducted by the Security Council seats which were left out in the United Nations, the return of 93,000 prisoners of war was another setback for the defense system. The present government requires to have certain correctional measures both at the national and the international level. There were some very good suggestions given by sir. Firstly, we have to reach out to the masses. Our message should be clear to them. There should be a mother tongue policy. There should be a policy to safeguard culture. The cultural connect is missing. There has to be very strong moves like the latest moves created with the government for the PI5 arrest. We are also thankful to Colonel Abhay Patwardhan ji, who has also highlighted not only the problems, but even gave out some very good solutions. One of the solutions worth mentioning is a single internal and external agency for the internal and external threats for the country. Corruption has to be dealt with very sternly, and it does affect the separatist movement. The conversions have to be looked after. He mentioned very strong words in mentioning that the present government is not doing much in the national interest, and steps have to be taken likewise. To wind it up, if this program has to be recorded, if this program has to be converted into action, it has been mentioned that action is needed, not just the knowledge. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Anil Chopra ji. You have concluded it very well, and really very enjoyable session was there. And thank you all who joined and spent their time here. Thank you very much. Have a good time. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Panelists. I enjoyed. This was my first session, and really, really thankful to everybody. Colonel Abhay, your speech was really very, very good. Very simple, but very crucial also. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Narayan sir.
Thank you.
सभी को धन्यवाद।
प्रदीप जी क्या बोल रहे हैं? प्रदीप जी
ये हो गया नारायण जी कार्यक्रम।
हाँ, कैसा रहा? आप बोलिए सुनील। सुनील जी आप बोलिए।
बिल्कुल मस्त कार्यक्रम हुआ, जोरदार, थॉट प्रोवोकिंग। इसका अभी अपने को
अरे
यूट्यूब वीडियो में
अरे
डेवलप,
बिल्कुल कर दीजिए।
इसको जरा लार्ज स्केल में प्रसारित करना पड़ेगा, इन लोगों के जो थॉट है ना।
इसका
बाकी